Yes people, what is going on, and welcome back to 100% Chelsea. So we have got another video out here today. We have got the fourth episode of the World Cup show. My name is Ian. If you don't know me, I've done a couple of videos on the channel doing these regular updates for the World Cup. I've got my very own channel. The link will be down in the description below. I've got a giveaway going on at the minute on there. You can go and check it out after you watch this video. It will be definitely worth your time. I hope it is anyway. So let's get into the video. Chelsea have got some players who are in the last 16 or now in the quarterfinals. As this video is being done the day before the quarterfinal start, I'm massively excited as an England fan. It could be coming home, boys. Who knows? But let's get into it. We've got to start with the players that didn't play, unfortunately. Willy Caballero did not play for Argentina as they went out to France for obvious reasons, because he was so poor in the games beforehand. Azpilicueta didn't play for Spain as they went out to Russia, which could probably be for the best in his eyes. But the pairing of Ramos and Piqué didn't look as brilliant as it once or it always has. So who knows what could be happening in the future of the Spanish team. Could Dave be coming in? We don't know. Either way, he is out. Batshuayi did not play for Belgium in their comeback win, or their miracle comeback win, as I'll say, against Japan. He was an unused sub, and two unused subs for England was Cahill and Loftus-Cheek. It's coming home, by the way, Cahill, Loftus-Cheek, regarding all of that. We all know it is. We're just denying ourselves if you don't think it's coming home. Anyway, let's get into the video. Let's talk about the people that have played. And we're going to start with the France-Argentina game. They have got Uruguay next, which is a huge fixture, but they beat Argentina 4-2, probably one of the best World Cup games I've ever seen. And one person who was good in that game was Olivier Giroud. Now, he picked up a yellow card for kind of squaring up at the end to Otamendi as Argentina kind of lost their heads. Kind of standard, I suppose. He's just trying to defend his own teammates, which you can't really argue with. You can't really argue. Just trying to defend his own teammates and his, almost the result, because very simply, they were going a bit too hard, the Argentinians. They didn't need to. The result was pretty much done. But he did his bit. He got an assist as well for the Mbappe goal. I think it was the third one he got the assist for. It was the third or the fourth, either way. It was one of the Mbappe goals. Yeah, he played very well, actually. He brings that team together very nicely, Olivier Giroud, because very simply what he does, he's a big target man. He keeps the ball, he knocks it around where he can, and he links up the play. And that's one thing I kind of did miss in the first game, and since they've had him in the team starting, it's worked really well with him, Mbappe and Griezmann. Now, Giroud played very well. Who absolutely bossed the game was N'Golo Kante. So he bossed the midfield. He was brilliant. I don't think he won the man of the match, but he was definitely a man of the match performance. Something we know all about from N'Golo Kante, from his Premier League exploits as well as others. He bossed the midfield. He was brilliant. He moved the ball around quickly. France played on the counter attack. They liked to give the ball to Pogba, and then Pogba to play the long ball into Griezmann and Mbappe, whoever was running forward. Very simply, it was a case of Kante wins back the ball, gives it to Pogba, moves up the pitch. That was what it was. Or whether it's a case of the ball gets cleared, and N'Golo Kante did the run-in, gave the ball to whoever it needed to be given to, and then they just played out and they went forward. And it was brilliant, to be fair, from him. We know N'Golo, we know the kind of performer that he is. He isn't one of those people that's going to go and do a massive amount of things. He's not going to go and score a 45-yard volley and become the standout player of the match, but it's the work rate, it's the hard desire, the passion. It's just an all-round good performance from him. We all know what it is about with N'Golo. He's very simply, he is brilliant. They play Uruguay next, which will be a very tough fixture. A big part of that will be Kante in midfield, because Uruguay have got this kind of diamond that they play in midfield, and it'd be really interesting to see how Matuidi, Pogba, and especially Kante deal with that diamond. There's going to be a lot of running, there's going to be a lot of work rate that's going to be done in there. So that's one thing to definitely look out for. Another great battle, of course, will be Godin and Jimenez against Olivier Giroud in the front three country of France. So it could be a very interesting game. I think that is the first game on tomorrow, which will be very, very interesting. Wherever you're watching for this from the world, definitely make the time to watch that game. Probably will be my game of the quarterfinals, the highlight game, I would say. But we don't know what's going to happen. So let's go on to the next game, which is Denmark against Croatia. Christensen played 45 minutes in centre midfield and got subbed on. Got subbed off to bring on more pace. The game was pretty boring. The first 5 minutes was electric, where 2 goals went in, and it finished 1-1. The whole rest of the game, Modric missed a penalty, and then obviously went to penalty shootout. Was a great penalty shootout, but as a whole, the game was pretty much poor. Christensen played in midfield. What did I think of him? I don't know. I think he's more of a... I like the idea of him possibly playing in midfield, but I think he'd be more of a defensive midfielder than where they had him as basically a centre midfielder. They wanted him to get box to box, but he just didn't have that experience and that know-how, essentially, to do it. So I thought he played okay. He did unfortunately go out, so we won't be able to see any more of him in that centre midfield role, but we could see some more of him in that centre midfield role in pre-season, and maybe even next season. We don't know. I think it's one thing that might be explored, depending on who we have coming in and coming out and such, which can all be seen on the transfer show when we actually make some movement. But that's for a different time. Unfortunately, Christensen is out. I thought he's been okay this World Cup, but we won't be seeing any more of him. Let's go on to the next game, which is Brazil versus Mexico. Brazil play Belgium next as they qualified, which will be an absolutely huge, huge game. And very simply, one person that had a very, very good game for Brazil was Willian. Now, the only Brazilian player we have in our squad. We had loads. We had Ramirez, Felipe Luis, we had so many. And now we've kind of only got one. It feels kind of strange. But Willian played very, very well. I've said in previous videos that Willian's kind of been a bit out of the loop because it's basically all the attacking goes down the left-hand side, and it's Coutinho and Neymar, and they got link up and whatever. But Willian basically went, "Now I'm getting involved in this. Sod it, I'm getting involved," and he did get involved, and he came in pitch a bit more, and he I wouldn't say he had more freedom. I think he kind of went against probably what the manager wanted him to, but he got himself involved, and he got his movement, and he got an assist for the goal, for the first goal, which I'm saying he shot, but either way, it ended up at Neymar's feet, I believe, and it was a tap-in. So yeah, it was a good performance from him. It's a good performance because I think it's one thing we need him to do. Obviously, there's rumours that he could be going to Barcelona, but we need him to have a big World Cup regardless, because if he's playing for us or if he's playing for Barcelona, whoever it is, if he's moving on, then if he has a great World Cup, we get more money for him. If he plays for us, which I personally would like to see him do next year, it means he gets the confidence and brings himself up to be the star man that he was. The last few seasons he's been brilliant ever since he came into the team. So yeah, from him it was a very decent game. He got subbed right at the end for Marquinhos just to see out the result, which you can't really argue with. It was pretty good. It was pretty good. Obviously never going to be the star in that kind of team with Neymar and Coutinho, but definitely did very, very well indeed. Now we come on to the last game, which is the Belgium versus Japan game. Now they obviously play Brazil next, big rivalry there with Willian, Hazard, Courtois, Batshuayi, people that get on very, very well in the team. This is going to be a tough one to call, I must admit, but we're going to get on with the the Belgium-Japan game. Very simply, Belgium were pretty poor. They just did very well second half to kind of come from behind. If you didn't see the game, they went 2-0 down. Courtois basically not conceded the same goal twice, but it was back across goal. They picked out the bottom corner both times. And I like Courtois, but I am a critic of his because he does struggle to get down low. He's a very good keeper. There's a few things he needs tweaked about him, and one of them is the fact that he comes off his line a bit too much. But the other thing you can't tweak is the fact of how big he is, how absolutely massive he is. Anything up, oh yeah, he's got it. Of course, we know that. We've seen some of the brilliant saves come out with, but he does struggle to get down low. has been the case for penalties and things as well. But during the game, I mean, one of them was a great goal. It was an absolute bullet. So I mean, it'd have been an extraordinary save to keep it out. But the other one, you'd like to have seen him possibly do a bit more with it. He was consistent for the rest of the game, to be fair to him. But yeah, the 2 goals, you could see how people could possibly exploit it. And I think essentially as it catches on, people go, oh, hang on a minute. This is all right here. This is brilliant. One thing he has got is when he comes out one-on-one, he's obviously got his massive legs, so as soon as he hits the ground, they're a kind of decoy, but when he's on his line or in that kind of tight space, he does struggle a bit to get down. Now let's talk about Hazard. Hazard is obviously the captain of Belgium. Batshuayi didn't play. Lukaku played up front with Mertens and Hazard. And there was a lot of talk about Lukaku and the last goal and how he moved and blah, 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 blah. But I thought Hazard was brilliant in this game. I really did. He hit the post. He got an assist. He really, really did cause havoc. He really, really did. And he's a great player. We all know how good he is. And very simply, he showed that. I think, obviously, it wasn't the result that they wanted. I think they wanted to kind of use that easier game against Japan, which everyone kind of saw it on paper, and kind of really start to threaten, you know, Brazil going, we're coming for you kind of thing, and new boys, old boys kind of thing. But they're through, and that's the main thing. And Hazard was a big part of them going through. He moves the ball quickly. We all know what he does. He can drive at people. He works well in those tight little areas. And even if he doesn't necessarily get the shots off or get the crosses in, he moves the ball round so someone else can, which is really, really nice for him, you know, to watch and to such. If you know what you're looking for, Hazard is a great player, not only when he's scoring goals and getting assists and running at people, but also when he's just doing the smallest little things, just moving the ball 5-10 yards and open up a bit of space. Honestly, it's lovely to watch. I'm sure we all know, we see it week in, week out. But no, look, he caused havoc for the Japanese defence, and I think he will try and I think he's going to really live up to the occasion, and I think he's going to realise that knocking Brazil out, that's, you know, that's the kind of thing a career highlight is, you know, knocking the world famous Brazil out of a World Cup, and I think that's the kind of thing that he's going to really try and grab, you know, and really try and go for. I think he's going to try and get on the ball. I think that Belgium know if they do beat Brazil, they'll kind of be fancied as the favourites. And that's massive. That's massive for anyone to be considered the favourites. So I think it's going to be a really good game, that one, which I believe is on tomorrow night, the later game, which will be very interesting to watch. If you do get a chance to watch it, definitely do. Definitely do. There's a lot of Chelsea involvement in that. A couple of people that have played for us past and present, and yeah, it should be decent to watch, and hopefully future as well. A couple of targets and such in that game. But that is it for us. I will very quickly talk about England. Neither Loftus-Cheek or Cahill played. England as a whole, I don't think could be using Cahill a lot. The back three looks pretty much settled. We don't know what's going on with Walker at the minute with the injury. Think he'll probably be fine. I think it was, if anything, probably a bit of cramp. But I think I wouldn't expect to be seeing Cahill a lot more this tournament. Loftus-Cheek could get the odd thing here and there, but he was also on a yellow card. Second he gets another yellow, if he comes on against Sweden and gets another yellow card, then he'll miss a semi-final. So it's kind of a thing, I don't think they'll risk it, so I'm not too sure, but hopefully the Three Lions can bring it home. So that is it from us. We'll be doing more of these now that we have got a few players in the quarterfinals, and definitely one in at least the semi-finals, as we have Brazil and Belgium playing each other, so we're at least going to have somebody. So I think it could be very, very interesting. We will definitely be doing more of these, and I believe we're also going to do a roundup of the whole Chelsea team after the World Cup. So thank you very much for watching. My channel is Craigo28. The link is down in the description below. Go and check it out. But more importantly, make sure you smash the likes on this video. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. They've got daily videos going on across the whole of the summer until the Premier League season opens. Transfer shows going out, a couple of other bits and bobs as well. amazing stuff that's going on from Louis, Lawrence, Lewis, so many other people behind the scenes. The work goes on, the grind continues. Make sure you smash the likes, make sure you subscribe to the channel, make sure you turn notifications on because of this weird algorithm that's going on. But make sure you turn notifications on so you don't miss a single video. Make sure you check out my channel, link is down in the description. And yeah, that is it from us. So thank you very much for watching this video. Make sure you subscribe to 100% Chelsea, and I'll see you back here for some more World Cup content surrounding our Blue Boys.